What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're creating a sketch illustration of Anti Venom. For today's lesson we'll be starting with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. I want to begin by adding some guidelines in the center of our page to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. So let's start by sketching a line coming down the center of our page. We're going to start from the very top. Just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom. Now along the top let's add another line going across from left to right. Now we're going to be using these two lines to help us create a circle along the top of our page. So from the center, let's step up. It's going to mark off the top of our circle. Let's measure that distance down towards the bottom and do the same thing. Now you want to repeat this process across this horizontal line. So measuring this over towards the left and then the right side. Now to create our circle, all we need to do is connect the center point of each mark with a curve. So let's start with the top left. And we're just going to rough this in. The circle doesn't have to be perfect. We can always go back and just readjust the shape. We just want to get the right size and placement along the top of our page. Now, from the side of our circle, let's add another guideline coming all the way down towards the bottom. And then we'll add another line going across the bottom of our circle. Now with our circle and guidelines in place, we're going to start to modify the shape of the head. Let's start from the side of our circle. It's going to angle the neck, coming down and then out towards the side. And then from the side of the neck, I'm just going to slope the shoulders, coming down and out. Now we're going to start adding some facial features. Let's start by adding a gap in between the eyes. So from that center line, let's move over towards the left, draw a straight line going up. Now we're going to measure that distance from the center over towards the right. Now let's draw in the eyes. From the bottom of this line, curve the eye going up and then out towards the side. Curve the eye coming down and then in towards the bottom. Let's add a fold in the center of the brow. Just going to bend this in and then up. Now from that center point, we're going to move all the way down and curve the mouth. We're going to go up and then bend that out. Do the same thing on the right. And then from the outside, bend this up and then in towards that eye line. Let's move in, draw two straight lines coming down the inside of the mouth towards the bottom. Bend this down and then back in towards the center. From that center point, let's step down and flatten off the chin with a straight line. Now I'm going to curve the chin, going up and then out towards the jaw. Bend this up and then out towards the side. Now I want to add that detail around the eyes. Let's start from the inside of the brow, bend this out and then up. Do the same thing on the right. Now from here we're going to curl this up and in. Bend this in and then down. Let's trace this back along the outside. So tapering this up towards the top, going around the outside towards the side of our circle. Just round out this area along the bottom of our circle, going out towards the cheeks. Come down and then in towards the bottom of the eye. Now underneath the mouth we're going to add the tongue coming down and over towards the right. So let's start up here, coming down, go across and then up. Bend this around the jaw and then curl that back up towards the tip of the tongue. Now I just want to trace this over on the right side. So we're going to come around. I'm just going to taper this so it gets narrower as we come out towards the end of the tongue. Now that we have a rough sketch, I'm going to go back and lightly erase some of these guidelines. Now that we have our clean sketch, I'm going to go back and modify the shape and add some more details. I'm going to start with the top edge of the eyes. I'm just going to start by adding some folds and wrinkles along the top edge, going out towards the side and then up. And doing the same thing over on the right. I'm just going to lightly sketch in this detail, moving around the bottom of the eye, and then in. And just adding some folds along the outside. So just going to work our way out from the eye, adding some more folds across the inside of the brow. Bending this down and then in. Now I'm just going to remove that center point and start adding some teeth. So we'll start with a fold going around the edge of the mouth, working our way out towards the cheeks. You can see that's just a series of overlaps working our way out. Now from here, just going to draw that edge of that trim. Just adding these points going out from the center of the brow. I'm just going to work our way out towards the side. I'm just going to add some points coming along the outside of the eye, working our way in, and then around the mouth. Add some more wrinkles in the center of the forehead. Now from here, we're just going to lightly block in the teeth. So we're going to bend the fangs coming in on the center, and then just working our way out. And these fangs are going to get a little bit smaller as we go out toward the side. You can see that I'm starting to bend these out just underneath the cheeks. Now I'm just going to go back and just finish off this trim along the top of the head. You can see I'm just breaking up the edge. I'm going to go back and add some more detail and shape to the tongue. Also layering those teeth underneath. So start with the left side, just working our way up towards the edge of the mouth, and just bending these in. And going around the right side. Now here I'm just going to go underneath the tongue. Now on the outside of the hair, we're just going to add these little squibs, these little curls and detail, just extending out past the side of the shoulders and the head, almost like a splash detail. And I'm just going to go back and just enhance the shape. So adding these little points going around. Now I'm going to go back and just clean up our drawing one final time before we add more detail and shading. Now I'm going to switch over to my 0.9mm mechanical pencil and start adding some contrast and shading. So I'm going to start back at the eyes, just darkening up my edges. You can add some shading as we go. Just adding some more folds and wrinkles. I'm just going to add a few holes and openings across that eye detail. I'm just going to add a little bit of saliva detail across the tongue, starting on the inside, and some across the bottom, and then the end. And now I'm switching to my 2mm wide pencil to add the shading. So we're going to start with that trim around the eyes. You see that I'm using the flat edge of my pencil to get a little bit more coverage. I'm also going to blend the teeth into the chin along the bottom. Also going to darken up the top row of teeth. And we're just going to add a little bit of a shade to the tongue on tip and just fade that in towards the mouth. And we're just going to illuminate the inside of the mouth. So we're going to add a shadow across the bottom. Now I'm going to darken up the shadow along the underside of the face. So starting along the top of the brow, just going to darken this up. And this will help enhance the whites of the eyes. Just fading that out towards the side. Now we can go back and just darken up the contrast of the teeth. Now, as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to tighten up my shadows and add a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign my artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of Anti Venom. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. You can also check out our other channels. I'll leave the links for you in the description below. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.